Alright, so in this lesson, I'm going to be talking about retargeting with Facebook ads and how to set up a proper retargeting funnel. And then I'm going to be taking you into the Flex Posture ad account to show you how I did the retargeting for Flex Posture. So let's get right into it. So first off, top of funnel retargeting. These are the people that haven't been on your website yet, haven't taken any actions, but have still seen you on social media. Now, these won't always be profitable, but if they are, you're in luck because these are the biggest audiences, hence why it's the top of the funnel. So if you can get these ad sets to be, if you can get these audiences to be profitable, then you're going to be able to spend a lot on retargeting profitably, and which is, always the goal. So these audiences include 95% video viewers, 75% video viewers, and people who've engaged with your social profiles. Now, the way that I like to set this up is I like to target people who've, in the last 7 days. So, this window, you can really choose it based on, how long you think it'll take to get a sale. So some people like to do 3 days. I like to do 7 days. And so what I like to do is I'll target 95% video viewers in the last 7 days, but you also need to exclude some people. Now, a lot of people forget to exclude people. And the reason why you need to exclude people is that you don't want to have any audience overlap. You're going to have a lot of different retargeting audiences that you're targeting. You don't want to have any audience overlap between all those audiences, because if you do, you're going to be bidding against yourself. And these audiences are quite small, and so bidding against yourself can really drive up the cost per purchase. So what you want to do is you want to have a 95% video viewers audience and then exclude website visitors in the last 7 days, because these people are going to be targeted. You're going to be targeting those people by themselves. Now, same thing here, 75% video viewers in the last 7 days. You also want to exclude the website visitors in the last 7 days, but you also want to exclude the 95% video viewers. The reason why is that if someone's watched 75%, if someone's watched 95% of the video, then they've obviously watched at least 75%, right? And so all the 95% video viewers here are also in this audience. So this audience is a subset of this larger audience. And so therefore you need to, if you want to avoid the overlap, you need to exclude that 95% video viewers audience from the 75% video viewers audience. And so by doing that, you actually have two audiences without overlap of some people that have watched 95% and then people who have watched 75%. But 75% up to 95%, and then 95% is a separate audience by itself. And so by properly excluding like this, you can actually see what the cost per purchase is for someone who's watched 95% of the video versus 75%. Now, you also want to target Instagram and Facebook engagement. Now there's custom audiences for that, and Instagram engagement was one of the best audiences for Flex Posture. So you definitely want to test all these audiences. Facebook engagement did not convert as well for Flex Posture, but Instagram engagement converted extremely well. Now, again, for these audiences, you want to exclude website visitors in the last 7 days because we're targeting those by themselves. And so for each of these audiences, for each of these ad sets, you want to have multiple video ads and multiple ads in general, just to avoid people seeing the same ads over and over again. People don't like seeing the same ads over and over again. And so by having multiple ads in each ad set, you're going to let Facebook optimize it for you and deliver different ads to people accordingly. And so that works great. And that's how I do it. I'll usually have 5 or more ads in each retargeting ad set. And when I create new creatives, I'm always going to just add them to the retargeting ad sets and see if it converts well. Now, another thing that can work really well for these top of funnel audiences is photo testimonials. And that's something that I used for Flex Posture, and that worked really well. People who are at the top of funnel, have you seen your ads but haven't really taken any actions on your website? One big reason for that is because they don't really trust your product or they don't trust your brand. And so by having these testimonials, it can really increase the trust and get them to take that next step with your brand. Now, bottom of funnel, these are people who have actually taken actions on your website but haven't bought yet. And so these are the most profitable audiences in terms of return on ad spend. So once again, I like targeting in the last 7 days for all of these. And so I'll do website visitors in the last 7 days, add to cart in the last 7 days, and then initiate checkout in the last 7 days. Now, to avoid overlap, once again, you need to exclude the level down, right? Because anyone who's added to cart in the last 7 days has also visited the website in the last 7 days. And so and vice versa, right? Anyone who's initiated checkout in the last 7 days has also added to cart, because they need to add to cart before initiating checkout. And so to avoid all this overlap between your audiences, you need to exclude. And so this one, the way that you can do it is website visitors in the last 7 days, excluding people who've added to cart. Add to cart in the last 7 days, excluding people who've initiated checkout, and then initiated checkout, excluding people who've actually purchased. That way you're not going to have any overlap, and then you can actually see what each of these audiences, what the cost per purchase is for each of those audiences, and you can scale them accordingly. Now, again, you want to have many different ads in each ad set. Video ads work great, but image ads also work great. For the lower you get in the funnel, the better image ads tend to work, because, at this point, people have already seen a lot of your video ads, and, they know what you're selling. They've already shown interest in it. They kind of just need a nudge, a bump, or, a special discount or something to convince them to purchase. And so, one thing you can do is you can offer discounts at this point to help convert those visitors. Now, I didn't do that for Flex Posture, and I don't usually do that. I prefer to offer discounts later on, and that's what I'm going to talk about next. So after 7 days, so right now, all this retargeting that we've been doing has been in a 7-day period. So what happens to the people who go through that 7-day period and see a bunch of our ads, and then they don't decide to take any actions, and they just, they get left behind. And so these are people who've visited the website in the last 30 days, excluding people who've visited the website in the last 7 days. Now, these people, if we don't retarget them, they're just going to be gone forever. So the way that I see it, it's kind of like you have one more chance to convince them to, come back and make a purchase and bring them back into your funnel. So these people, this is where I'll usually offer a discount. And so, so with this audience, I'll usually offer them a special discount. We're running low on stock. Are you still interested? Finish your, get it 20% off today with this coupon or something like that. And if you offer them a special discount, maybe you'll be able to convert these people that, slipped through your funnel. So that's the general idea for a retargeting funnel. This is the way that I set up my retargeting funnels for my new brands. For the way that I did it for Flex Posture was a bit different. And so I think this way is much better. So, I would recommend that you follow this strategy, but I'm going to show you what I did for Flex Posture regardless. So this was my retargeting campaign. And as you can see, I have a lot of ad sets here. Instagram engagement, website visitors, view content, initiate checkout, Instagram engagement in the US, video viewers, a ton of video viewers, audiences, add to cart, more video viewers, initiate checkout, 30 days, add to cart, 30 days. So I tested all different kinds of things, but let's see what actually brought in the most results. So one of them that I could spend a lot of money on was this Instagram engagement ad set. So this was Instagram engagement in the last 30 days, I believe. And so I was able to spend quite a bit on this audience. And let's see. So the ads that were performing the best were video ads, right? So these are all video ads, and those are the ones that brought the most sales. Now there's also a testimonial here that did quite well, 2.56 return on ad spend. We can check that out. That's just a typical testimonial. And that really helps build trust. So, those audiences converted very well. Now, I have a ton of website visitors, view content. Now, nowadays, I would not split website visitors and view content, because the difference between those two audiences is like non-existent. There's like a 2 or 3% difference between the two. And so if you just target website visitors, that includes all of, view content. And there's really no difference in terms of the value of that audience. And so you can just not target view content and just focus only on website visitors, because all of those view contents are going to be included in the website visitors. And so as you can see here, I was doing 30 days. Nowadays, I would do 7. 30 days isn't optimal. And so I think I could have gotten a much better return on ad spend if I did 7 days, and then I targeted people after that with this after 7 days thing and offered them a special discount. I think I could have gotten a better return on ad spend. So that's one thing that I've learned. Now, 95% video viewers, this audience was also quite profitable. And so as you can see, once again, this one actually had image ads performing the best. So this post right here was the one that performed the best. And so these are people who have already seen my video ad, right? So they've already kind of been sold on the product, and now this is kind of just nudging them to get it. And so I'm playing on the urgency and the limited stock, right? Our best-selling posture corrective brace is finally back in stock. Get it while it's still 50% off. Now the testimonial, once again, that was converting well. And so these, you really want to test as many ads as possible. As you can see, all of these ad sets have like pretty much like 10 or more ads in them. And so that's really what you want to do for retargeting. You want to show a lot of different ads to avoid people seeing the same thing over and over again. Now let's check out the initiate checkout audience. This is one of the most profitable audiences. And as you can see, so this video was performing quite well for initiate checkout. So you really don't know what's going to convert well for a specific audience. And that's why if you just put a bunch of ads in an ad set and you let Facebook optimize it, that usually works quite well. And so this video ad worked great. And then this same post again, the same post with the urgency and limited stock. This post converted great as well. And so you guys get the idea. Retargeting is not that complicated. You just want to make sure that you're avoiding overlap. Now, how do you scale these audiences? That's also a good question. What I would recommend that you do is that once you start getting consistent sales, so let's say about 20 sales a day or like 15 sales a day, that's when you can start setting up retargeting just to maximize your profits. Now, when you first set up all these ad sets, this is exactly what I would set up. I would recommend you set up all these ad sets, and then you could run all of them at like $5 a day or something, or $10 a day, and see what happens. And then you can scale based on the profitability. So if you have a good return on ad spend, that's a great sign, and then you can scale. And you can also keep an eye on the frequency. The frequency tells you how many times people have seen your ads. And so if the frequency is super low, let's say the frequency is 1.0, which was that's the minimum it can be. So if you have a frequency of 1.00 and you have a really good cost per result and return on ad spend, then you know that you can really scale that retargeting audience. And so what I'll usually do is I'll just scale it, about 30% every 2 days, as long as the frequency and the return on ad spend looks good. So that's it for this lesson on retargeting. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.